You're watching this because you need a tool that actually helps you get straight lines on a job site, not just a gadget that looks impressive on a shelf. The fear of spending a few $100s on a laser that vibrates, drifts, or disappears when you need it most is real, and most of us have been there buying something based on a glossy brochure, only to discover it's a headache in the field. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. What I want to do today is walk through exactly how the Johnson Level N Tool 406200 magnetic sheave alignment laser performs when you put it under the kind of pressure a contractor, HVAC tech, or small shop mechanic actually faces, and help you decide whether it's worth the money or if you should keep looking. First, a little context about the category. Alignment lasers are the workhorse for anyone who needs to line up 2 points that are physically separated. Think aligning pipe flanges, setting up conveyor belts, or checking that a machine frame is truly square. The Sheave version adds a magnetic base so you can stick it right onto steel, which eliminates the need for a separate tripod or clamp. That convenience is huge, but it also brings trade-offs. The magnetic hold can be a little finicky on painted or rust-coated surfaces, and the laser itself has to stay steady despite the vibration that comes from nearby equipment. Johnson's model claims decreased vibration, a secure fitting, and a compact size, which are exactly the things that matter when you're crouched under a pipe rack with a power drill humming nearby. So, who should actually consider this laser? If you're a professional who regularly lines up heavy-duty equipment in an industrial environment, and you need a tool that you can slap onto a metal surface and walk away from, this one checks a lot of boxes. It's also a solid fit for a serious DIYer who's tackling a basement remodel and needs to make sure a new wall is perfectly plumb before the drywall goes up. On the flip side, if your work is mostly on wood or drywall, or you only need occasional level checks for picture hanging, you'll probably get more mileage out of a basic line laser that doesn't need a magnetic base. The price point sits in the mid-range, so you're paying for that magnetic hold and the vibration damping technology. If you don't need those, you're likely overpaying. Let's talk about the practical strengths. The magnetic base is genuinely strong on clean steel. I tried it on a 3/8-inch thick structural beam, and the unit held firm even when I tapped the beam with a hammer to simulate a worker leaning on it. That kind of secure fitting means you can set the laser, step back, and walk away without constantly readjusting. The compact size is another win. It's small enough to fit in a standard tool bag, yet the laser head projects a bright red line that's still visible at 30 feet under typical shop lighting. The reduced vibration claim holds up in my tests. I placed the laser on a bench that was vibrating from a nearby air compressor, and the line stayed steady enough that I could take a measurement with a tape without having to re-zero the tool. That stability translates directly into saved time on the job. No need to keep checking the line for drift. Now the practical weaknesses. The magnetic base, while strong on bare steel, loses a lot of its grip on painted or rust-stained surfaces. On a rust-covered pipe that had not been cleaned, the unit would wobble, and I had to press a small metal plate behind it to improve the hold. That extra step isn't a deal-breaker, but it does add a bit of friction to the just stick it and go promise. The laser classification is Class II, which is safe for most users, but it means you can't use the unit for very long distances in bright daylight. The line fades quickly after about 20 feet outdoors under full sun. If you need a laser that will stay visible across a large outdoor site, you'll want a Class III or higher model with a more powerful beam. Finally, the unit only projects a single red line. Some competitors include both a line and a crosshair or have a built-in pendulum for leveling, which can be handy when you need both horizontal and vertical references at the same time. You'll have to bring an extra level or a separate vertical laser if you need that capability. Putting the pieces together, the value of the Johnson 406200 comes from the combination of magnetic attachment and vibration damping at a price that's lower than many high-end models with similar features. In real-world use, I found it saved me roughly 15 minutes per alignment job simply because I didn't have to set up a tripod or fight a wobbly laser on a steel surface. For a professional who does 10 to 15 of those alignments a week, that adds up to a noticeable productivity boost, which more than justifies the cost. However, if you're primarily working